Hi guys. So I want to talk to you about trance mediumship, okay? There is a huge levels of trance you can tap into or with training get to. But mostly we talk about just the trance state, light trance state or a deeper trance state, but there's so many levels in between there. And I used to sit more than twice a week for the Spirit for just trance. And I probably did about 20 courses, 20 weekend courses a year on trance because my ex-husband was having these courses. And I also sat in the power every day for an hour the first 10 years, give or take maybe a couple of weeks off on them 10 years. I was really dedicated. And for me, it's nothing more beautiful when the blending takes place from the spirit world and me, because it's such an unconditional love. So it moves me every time. And in the beginning, I used to cry afterwards because it was so beautiful. And that's the love you've been looking for all your life, more or less, because we do strive to get love. I don't think I can talk today. I don't know what happens. Anyway, for me, I was screaming for love. See me, love me. I was such an insecure human being when I grew up, and I never felt I was really loved, especially from my mom at home. And I know that she loved me. She just didn't show it the way I would have hoped for, maybe. And she could also be very plump and say things very rudishly, and it was really hurtful, even though she didn't know the impact it had on me at that day. So when I grew up, or when I came after 20 years, 25, 35 there, I had a hard time to really love myself, because if my mom have screamed at me what a bad person I am and all them things, I thought I was bad. How can anybody love me? It's not even my mom is loving me. And now that was really something I struggled with for a long time before I could separate her and look at her not just as my mom, but as a human being, a person with her own life experiences. And maybe she didn't have that most beautiful life and upbringing. I don't know. She never talked about it. And if you never talk about how beautiful your childhood was or anything, you wonder sometimes if it was that good, because I never heard anything. And she was not someone who opened up that easy anyway. She could do it towards the end a couple of times when she's been drinking a little bit, but otherwise she never said anything. So when I discover that I can shift my mind, go to a different consciousness, let the spirit blend with me, and you feel that love for the first time is so overwhelming and so emotional and is so beautiful. But long story short here now then, because my ex-husband, he got 5 years in prison because he abused his healing and abused women. And he did that through his trance work. Of course he wasn't in trance, but I didn't know better. I was very naive, very young, or younger. And so when he got caught and we went into the trials and everything, and I think it was 14 women who actually did a police report about it, but only 7 had the courage to go through the trials. And it was 2 trials because he complained about the first one, and then you have to go to the higher court. I'm not sure I'm using the right words here in English, but anyway, I think you get my meaning about it. So when he got caught and I realized that he's been fraudulent, and it was not trance, it was just his way to have power, to be able to abuse things, I stopped doing trance. And I didn't touch it for over 10 years almost, because every time the blending took place, I just have this horrendous feeling with me, with everything that he has done to these women. So a couple of years ago, or 4 or 5 years ago now, I think it is, I started to try to get back into it, because I'm not going to let him win. I don't want him to win over me. He's not going to destroy the most beautiful thing I ever experienced in my whole life. I'm sorry, I get very emotional now, because that love is so unbelievable, and it feels like you are surrounded like a blanket of love, and there's nothing that can harm you. There's nothing who can touch you. You just have bliss for the moments when you're blending with that love from the spirit world. And I'm really going to try to make an effort now. I said this before, so don't take my word literally here now, but I would like to practice more of it for my own sake again. Because when we was in Nerja now, I had a beautiful friend. She came as a student, Iris, and she's from Switzerland. And she did a trance communication, and she brought through my mom. So you can have trance philosophy when they just speak philosophical, but when you have a trance communication, you actually blend with your reality. And she blended with my mom, and my mom spoke through her directly to me. And I'm telling you, the love I felt through Iris via my mom, I had never experienced that love from my mom when I was alive, when she was alive. It was the most beautiful, beautiful feeling ever. And I ugly cried. I sobbed, because that's what I've been waiting for all my life. Sorry. And it's such a beautiful way to bring the essence of the spirit through. And now I have a talent for it. I just been, how do you say, burnt. I just been damaged. And I need to get back to that, because that healing effect that had on me, it's amazing. And like I said, I get emotional now because the love from my mom was real, you know. And yeah, and the words that she was speaking to me, it was her. And it was just such a beautiful feeling. And I've seen a lot of shitty trance. Sorry for my out speaking. But I also seen some really beautiful trance. And when you see really, really good trance medium who really have been given that time of dedication to sit for the spirit, to really make that effort, and it's coming together in a beautiful, loving, harmonious way, nothing beats it. Nothing really beats it. But if you get someone who just bringing forward their own ego, it's like a puppet show. Sorry. And I've seen so much of it. So it really puts you off a lot of the time. It takes time. It's not done in a weekend time. I mean, I think I sat for 7 years before I even opened my mouth. And there you go. But I really would like to get back to it for my own sake. And I also need a challenge. You know, I get bored very quickly. So I also have a challenge with the online demonstration. And I'm going to do more of that as well. But I need to challenge myself, so I have that excitement, and yeah, I made it, or something like that. Gives an extra little boost when you're doing this, especially when you're doing it as long as I have. You need something to look forward to. I don't want to stagnate, and I think it took me quite some years to realize it's okay to not be perfect. And now when I don't care anymore, it's easier to practice and enjoy it while you're doing it. So that's my words for today. Hope there are some good budding trance medium out there that I never heard of, or who are blossoming and can do a beautiful job, and so people can experience what I experienced in May in Nerja. So thank you, Iris, for doing that for me, and thank you for listening to me. Bye.